If you've had a business for a few years now and your old website, your branding doesn't quite align with the new clients that you want to work with, or your offerings have changed slightly, the messaging, all of that stuff, your photos, you need new photos, you don't like the colors, your old logo, all of those things, but you don't know what the next step is, like in hiring a website designer, like what kind of web designer do you need to hire? What do you have to have ready? The photos, the copy, all of that jazz. I'm meeting in this video, I'm talking with a past client of mine, Katie, who had her business for a few years. She knew she needed a rebrand and an up level in her website. And this is all about the process and all of the things that you might be struggling with, like, what do I do now? We're going to talk about it. And there's also an accompanying video showing the process of what I did to redesign her website from what it looked like to what it does now. And I hope you enjoy this video. Hi, Katie. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm just wondering if you could share a little bit about what you do and your business with us today.
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. And yeah, for people that don't know me, I am Katie, and I am a somatic dance guide, a writer, a DJ, a nutritionist, and a transformational coach. And I help women, purpose-led women, to trust their bodies, let go of shame and self-doubt, and live a beautiful life.
Okay, just pausing this for a second here. Katie and I just did the intro section, then we're like, I felt a little bit discombobulated then. I'm like, I'm looking at my mobile phone camera, then I'm looking at you, and then I'm like trying to be like, where are we looking? So we've decided we're just going to look at each other and not at the camera. And I feel like you won't feel like that we're not looking at you, but we're actually in a more natural conversation. So please, if you feel like we're not looking at you, it's because we just want to look at each other so it feels a bit more natural. We're going to reconvene the interview now. Okay, now we're back. Can you tell me a little bit about what was going on in your business before we started working together?
Yeah, for sure. So before we started working together, I had actually been in business for about 5 or 6 years. And at that point, I was focusing purely on nutrition and functional medicine. I had a website. It had been working pretty well for me. It felt I was getting to the point where I was very busy. I was seeing lots of clients, and it was very clinical. And the website that I had very much reflected that sort of very clinical vibe that was going on. And on one level, it was great. I was seeing lots of clients, but actually, I knew I was wanting to work in a slightly different way. I'd started training as a transformational coach. And actually, by the point that we met each other, I was fully qualified and I'd started coaching clients and adding that alongside the nutrition work that I was doing. And that just felt so much more natural to me. And I was getting great results. And it was very much a kind of, um, yeah, I was in a place where I was like, I love what I do. And now my website doesn't reflect actually what I'm doing at all.
Mm.
So when I was coming to you, I was wanting a website that was much more reflective of the work that I was doing.
Yeah. And and I think as well, with a lot of people that I work with, a lot of it is they're doing a lot of inner work because I work with a lot of service-based businesses that are into personal growth and development, like most of the people if you're here on this channel. And I think that we go through an evolution ourselves as well as our businesses. And sometimes I always found that with my website for the first few years of my business, I'd grown as a woman and I just felt like the photographs that I had initially, I was just like, I don't recognize her anymore. I like have a lot of love for her and what she was doing, but like who I am now, and I'd moved house and like total location and stuff, the energy of who I was not reflecting that as well. So yeah, thank you for sharing. All right, so you have shared where you were at in your business and the transformation that you were doing with your new coaching, and it wasn't reflecting that. So, what actually made you decide to invest in your new branding and website? Like, what was the catalyst like that actually made you do it? Because I know sometimes people think I need to do it, and they just sort of don't for quite a while.
Yeah, 100%. And I loved what you were just saying about like going on a transformational journey because in the couple of years actually just before I worked with you, I'd been through a huge transformation. So I had a life-changing car crash, and that really helped me to reevaluate where I was going, first of all, in my life, but also definitely in my business. And it's funny what you're saying about looking at the old photos, because the old photos on my website, I was like, I'm so grateful for that version of me.
Mm.
And also, I am no longer that version of me. I've evolved and I've moved through something really big, and I've got a lot more clarity about the work that I do now. And so it was really like, it was really a point where I was like, if it's not now, when is it going to be?
Mm.
And I'd spent time with you. I knew that we got on really well. And I just, to be honest, I just got such a good, like, it was a great, I tell you what it was. It was a great point of me trusting my intuition, of being like, I know I want to work with this woman. I know, like, it didn't necessarily make sense to me because my head was like, it's going to be, there's this investment and we could be using the money for this or that. But actually, it was my intuition that was like, do you know what? I need to do this now.
Mm.
And I'm so glad that I did, because the work that we did together and the website that was created, that you created, was just so beautiful. And it really clarified exactly where I was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a really great experience of trusting my intuition and being like, yeah, that was spot on.
Yeah. And can I say as well, another thing, I don't know if you remember this because I do. So I'm asking you the question, but I actually I didn't realize that that's what you were going to say because I thought it was going to be something, well, that as well, but this, I remember you'd had photographs taken in Costa Rica, and
Yeah,
I remember you thinking these photos are so beautiful. Like there was no way that those photos could have just been uploaded into your old website. It was like
yeah.
they deserved to have something beautiful made alongside them. So yeah, I remember you also saying that to me when we were starting. You're like, these photos need to have like a lovely new home
Definitely.
to go.
Yeah, for sure. And those photos. So after I'd recovered from the crash and I was training to be a somatic dance guide, and I'd gone to Costa Rica to complete my training over there and worked with a beautiful photographer. And she'd, yeah, taken these photos, and I exactly that. I had them and received them, and I was like, these need a platform. So it
They
was
were
kind of like
stunning.
following the breadcrumbs of like, oh, okay, these photos are here now. So yeah, these photos need a home. And what I loved was that you really saw that when I sent you the photos, and you were like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's run with this.
Oh my gosh. I can't tell you as a web designer, any web designer will know when they get photos that are like that and you're like, oh yes. Like because for me photos do make a website, it is like a visual storytelling as well as like it is the layout obviously because that's the part of the web design and the brand, but it's an energy as well, like so all of my work is about intuition, intuitive web design, energy. I want to make sure that I've got the energy of my client across online. So it's like you walk into a room and you're attracted to that person, or one of your best friends would be like, your website, it just feels like you, but online. And I always want to evoke that. And having photos that immediately create that energy is like a really beautiful experience for a web designer. All right, next question. How did you find the design process from start to finish? Like, what was your experience like?
First of all, I would say fun. It was so much fun, which I was not expecting, because I was kind of like, this is a very technical thing that I need to do. And yeah, I just wasn't expecting it to be fun. So that's the main thing.
That's good.
Also, I really appreciated that intuitive way in which you work. So for me, one of the biggest part of what made it so fun actually was putting together my own vision board on Pinterest and gathering all of the images, because that process for me was so clarifying in terms of my vision for my business. And because I'm quite a visual person as well, it just really, it brought to life where I was going and the work that I was doing in a way that I hadn't actually been fully able to articulate before then. So that, and I still actually refer to that vision board that I created, 3 years
I
ago.
love that.
Yeah. And I use it as inspiration when I'm feeling a little bit like lost in terms of where am I going with this next project, or, whatever it might be. And so it's like this, it's become like this anchor point. And so that was such a big part of the process. And it was also, I tell you what, it was also really helpful to work with someone who gave me the freedom to really talk about what I wanted to create. And also, because I'm quite flowy, to actually kind of give me some, for want of a better way of saying it, like some energetic riverbanks to
Yeah,
work with.
like,
Like, come back
yeah.
in. This is what we're doing. So, yeah, as I said, I'm a writer. And bless you, Liz. Like, I sent you so much copy, and you were so,
Can I just say, I have now, everybody, altered my contract. When you work, in the years of your business, you will find that when you work with certain clients along the way, you're like, oh, okay, I think I could finesse my process here a little bit, and I'll do this, and everything is great little lessons and takeaways. I think 4 or 5 years in business at that point, I just always received the same sort of amount of copy, and then I worked with a writer. And my contract, I was like, okay, this is the max amount of words that you can have on your website, and anything else is like an upgrade of like for words. But it was so fun. Like I appreciated your words because they were fantastic. Like,
thank you. Well, and also, again, that process was really
yeah,
clarifying for me in
yeah,
terms of like, what is it, like me getting super clear about
yeah,
what is it that I'm actually like wanting to say in this. So yeah, I was really, and do you know what? We kept that process really
yeah.
fun.
And it
Well,
was like I'm just doing that, and I don't want to like shame for writing too much, because I think that when you are creating something, you write it all out, and then the process is editing it,
yeah,
and how do I make it more succinct. So I would always say to all of my clients is just to write, to free flow, to have a piece of paper where you want to get everything across. And it is the sort of the process of tying it all in and stuff. And I think that was the riverbank, wasn't it, when we were like,
definitely.
you know I think we still did keep it like a bit of a longer format, but it totally
Yeah,
worked within the design.
yeah.
And yeah, like it was one of my favorite websites ever.
Yeah, I loved it. And I'm still so, yeah, we were just saying it's like 3 years on, and I'm still so excited to share my website, like
Yeah,
genuinely. And when I share it with people, they're like, oh my, oh my God, your website is amazing. It's so beautiful. And I'm just really proud of it. Like I'm
yeah,
really proud.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to like quickly go into something. When you were saying you were writing out your copy, and it was like a really fun process, and I gave you riverbanks to sort of keep within. Um,
Yeah.
Do you feel like when and I don't want to put words into your mouth, but I have found this with other clients, that it's not just writing a website copy. It's really, you have to go away and really think about what your offers are, like, and clarification. I know you said that quite a lot with the vision board, which is,
Yeah.
if I've not done one already, for like a vision board for your business, and how to create this board that Katie's talking about using as an anchor still 3 years on from us doing this. If I've not done one already, I will do one, and I will pop a link in the description at some point in the future for when I do that. I do actually have a workshop about this, but I think it's like 6 years old, so I definitely want to re-record it. Um, but yeah, when you were writing your copy, did you find that it did help you realize what your business was about?
Yeah, 100%. I think at that stage, so thinking back, yeah, because it was summer 2023. So I had these ideas of what my offers were, and they'd kind of been floating in my head for a little while. And it was very much a process of like, right, this needs to be committed to paper. So I need to get super clear here about what it is that I'm offering. And to be honest, you can only do that when you've got something that you actually need to put up that people can read and understand. So, yeah, I think the word that's coming to me is like, it was very much a process of refinement. So it helped me to get super clear about what it is that I was offering. And actually, that meant that that kind of had this lovely sort of ripple effect in that once I'd done that and I'd given you the copy, I was like, oh, I can actually, talk about this with people much more clearly because I've got the words for what it is that I actually do. So yeah, I found that process super helpful.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to highlight that because I know for me with my own website, it's not an esoteric thing where you're just like, oh yeah, I do web design and and I can get on a sales call and I love a sales call because I just get really excited about what I do. But you've got to write out what it is that you do and how you help people and maybe the struggle, the pain that they're in right now and like the solution that you offer. But it's also you have to think about the process that you're going to do this in. And when my business like really took up and like more than doubled within 11 months, it's when I streamlined my process and I really got very clear about I'm going to have this call on a Monday. We're going to have the homepage call on a Friday. Then I'm going to have the other call the following week. And it's going to be 2 weeks rather than six and
Mm,
just a bit willy-nilly. So I think it also helps you put to words, on an actual website what your process looks like so somebody can not just have a sort of a vague idea of what you do. They're like, oh, this is how it works. This is what I get.
yeah,
And I know sometimes with coaching it can be like it's not so you will get this exactly.
yeah,
In with transformation, you can't exactly say you are going to get this with
yeah,
you are going to more than double your business or whatever. For that's not what
yeah.
I'm offering, but I will do your website. I have much more deliverable proper things. So right, next question.
And I was just going to
Carry on.
say around that, I think for me, because I wear different hats, as it were, and I've got different strands to how I help the clients that I work with, it was that process of writing the copy was almost like weaving the strands together of
Mm.
like, okay, so I'm no longer just the nutritionist. This is, how I help my clients, and this is what I can offer, and this is, you know, what you might expect when you work with me. And yeah, it just, again, that word coming through is just like really refined, um, both for myself and also in the way that I was talking about it with my clients, what it is that I actually did
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
and
really
do.
excited about something else that I really want to talk about, and I think we're going to come to it shortly. Okay, this is the final question. I'm sure some little offshoots will come up, but what did you find happened after your brand and website was finished? Like, how did you feel?
So I felt so excited. I remember just like wanting to share it everywhere. So there's a couple of things that I started doing immediately was I actually just started emailing my list a lot more because I was like, I just want to show this because I'm just so happy with it. So that was really good for me in terms of like just becoming more vocal about my business. And so after that, because I'd because the actual process of creating the website had given me a lot more clarity around what it is that I was offering, I was actually able to get super clear about the clients that I work best with and started to actually call in a lot more of the clients that I can be of highest service to. So that was, yeah, it was a really kind of I feel like that website, the launch of the website was kind of like a launch in the next stage of my business. And whereas it had been kind of like a little bit nebulous before about, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, it's actually like, no, this is where I'm going now. And this is how I can help women. So yeah, it was a really exciting moment. And, we were talking off camera before, it's like I still look at my website now and I'm like, this is so great. It
I
really
s-
is.
I still do it with your website because um anybody that's watching this is like a two-part little series where I will be going through a client's website to show you my intuitive design process from start to finish. So like what my client does, the vision board that they've created, the mood board process, and then the process of designing it. So you can see it come together. So there is a video that comes alongside this of showing you how I built Katie's website. But I've just recorded that and I was just like, oh, this website is so good. I'm actually going to get it up now. Just hold on one sec. I actually thought it'd be really cool to show you a before graphic and after graphic, and so you can see it more at a glance before I go into more detail. Okay, so this is Katie's website. I'm just going to do a very quick show. Oh gosh, I love that image.
Mhm.
And like this has got like a watercolor background, and we've got like leaves at the side. We've got this lovely sort of petal-like button, and this lovely handwritten font, like occasionally on like keywords. We've got the archway on the images. We've got iconography, like amazing photos in Costa Rica. I love it. Oh gosh, I mean, I like the one. Where's the one? Oh, not that one. There's so many page. Like, I love that image. You had some really cool imagery. Like, I loved it how we put the horse in here, and sourcing the stock images was really fun to go with your brand. And then, is it the about page that yeah, I love like, oh gosh, you had such nice pictures. Um, so yes, that's just like a very quick snippet of her website. So you felt very excited to share energetically. It felt like, okay, this is the launch of my website. So
Yeah.
my business.
Mhm.
What else was I going to say? So now, like what's happening now? So like that was your immediate response to it and the energy you felt. You were able to go out there, get, know who you were talking to, have more clarity. You were sending out newsletters. I don't, you were probably being a bit more visible and just doing your thing in your business that you'd wanted to do for a while. How are you? And I know, again, we spoke about this a little bit off camera. You're now 3 years on, and I know, our businesses evolve and change. It's strange for me. I took sort of a year out to work on a course called Design a Life You Love, which was sharing about how I'd gone on this income struggle for 5 years in my business as a web designer. And then as soon as I started becoming more intuitive and doing what I loved in a way I loved it, not what everybody else was doing, my business took off. And I wanted to get that out into the world. So I created this course. And so I've been out of my business for a year, but pretty much the whole 8+ years that I have done, apart from that year out, was I've always my website, my model's not changed that much. I think that I worked with a very great coach at the beginning of my journey, and I just feel like I immediately knew who I wanted to work with, and I worked with that same sort of person. My offer's just been refined from 4 to 6 weeks to 2, but it's the same thing that I'm doing, and it's still brought me so much joy. Whereas, I have changed, so my photos changed, but like my actual offer's pretty much the same. 3 years on, you had nutrition and functional medicine, and then you did all of this stuff. Where are you now with what you're doing? And has your offer moved on? Because mine is pretty much the same still. Has your offer moved on?
Yeah.
Does your branding still feel like it's right? Where are you at now?
Yeah, so similar to you, actually, I've had just over a year out because I've been writing a book, which yeah, it's coming to the latter stages now, which I'm really excited about. And it's been such a beautiful process. Definitely like you meet yourself when you're writing a book as well, but I'm so grateful for it. And within that time as well, I've continued to evolve. So 3 years, and so I'm teaching a lot more, guiding a lot more somatic dance, ecstatic dances, I'm actually now a DJ as well, so I'm holding regular dances for women. And so my offers they've kind of evolved with me. And so for some clients, I am still definitely working with, more of the food-based elements and the nutrition pieces. But for me, it's much more now about helping women to really trust their bodies and let go of the self-doubt and the shame that can, impact so many and stop us from living the lives that we're truly here to live. And it really is a deep belief of mine that, we're all here to live a beautiful life, whatever that means for each and every single one of us. And it's going to be different for each and every single one of us as well. So that is the work that I feel very called to do. And I love helping and guiding women along that path. So if I look back in terms of, even 3 years ago, but certainly sort of 6 or 7 years ago, my business has definitely evolved. And what has been really wonderful about this website is that so I'm at the stage now where I actually probably need to go in and tinker a little bit with my copy. But the actual energy of the website, I wouldn't change because it still feels really true to that intrinsic, part of me that is doing what I'm doing now. And I think that's the power of a really great website is that, yes, things might, evolve over time, but actually the fundamentals of the website, I don't feel like we need to go in and do a big overhaul because it's still really true to who I am. So yeah, the process that I've been through in the last couple of years, I feel again, it's that word, it's refining. It's kind of like letting go of all of the things that I thought I should be doing and actually getting really super clear on, who I'm here to serve and the work that I'm here to do. And it's just so lovely with the website in that it still feels very authentically true to that that version of me.
Yeah, like the branding side of things, like you wouldn't be okay, now all of a sudden it needs to be red or
Yeah,
like
exactly.
all of that and I need a new photo shoot because I think who you were that yeah, like you said, the energy is still there and I think when I finally redid my website, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I've not really changed it at all because I was so happy with it. But what has changed for me, when I say like nothing's really changed, but actually what's changed is like that and what I'm going to be doing as of May 2026 that we're filming this, I really want to refine and articulate a lot better what it is that I do and how I help people because I've just had a client that I worked with 2 years ago come back to me and they're an agency and I did their website, but they're one of their clients, they want my help. But it's not that they just want me to design the brand and the website for this business that's starting from the ground up. They want me to be like a third person because there's a massive project. They want somebody to run ideas by and to be there to consult and to brainstorm and be part of the team. And it really sort, like I always love Oprah when she would say, the world speaks to you in whispers. It's like very, like whispers, whispers, and then it gets so loud, it's like a brick outside your head. And
Yeah,
I've been hearing that a lot recently, like people articulating what about me that I do that's special. I feel like on my website, I'm not just a web designer. I am helping with lots of things that maybe somebody that you just give the website copy to, you just give the images to, and then like you don't really speak to them again. It's like a much more uh, 360 relationship that we do and helping steer things as well. And I want to articulate that better. But I think because my brand and everything feels so solid, I don't
mm,
have to like do a whole new website. I just need to change the copy a little bit. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's exciting that that's all we need to do when we've got to do these upgrades that we know. And also I know
yeah,
me just changing that copy, it's not that suddenly all of a sudden loads more people are going to hit my website, but I think we are very spiritual. I just know that me doing that energetically, me updating my
yeah,
website and really showcasing the power of what I do, that things are going to come in from
yeah,
nowhere. Um,
yeah. It's the open for business, isn't it? When you
Yeah,
get clear, then yeah, yeah,
you
exactly
attract.
that.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
okay, well, Katie, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really
Absolute
enjoyed hearing your
pleasure.
story. And anybody that wants to check Katie out, please share your information. I will put the links in the description, but how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, my website, obviously, my beautiful website, and all of my contact details are on my website. I am also on Instagram, but yeah, the website is the best place to get in touch with me. And there's a link on there, and you can have a look at the various things that I offer and do as well.
Yeah. So that's katieedwards.co. So yeah, thank you, and I'll hopefully see you if you've not watched it already in the design process, intuitive design process that I did for Katie's website. Bye.
Bye.